Hey everybody, welcome back. You can see the vestige of our last easy win right there. That's regular Eden. To the lamb? It must be my birthday? Is this... what the heck, a semi-normal run? 711 Eden tokens, magical number. We start with Mega and good stats. By the way, anyone else here at that intersection of parenthood, i.e. watching a lot of Sesame Street, but also not being able to get the voice of the guy who gets the junkyard dog, excuse me, what the heck? King of the Ring delivered out of his head. So every second of every day is just, sit tight, it's time for the letter of the day. That's right. The letter of the day is on its way. Hey, and then it's here. Hey, it's here. Hey, the letter of the day, it's here. Hey, it's here. The letter of the day is here. It even came with its chains and its crown. King of the Ring. Okay, so like the answer to all of those questions was probably no. But if you are in the same boat as me, welcome to the show. Just my brain using, like, the same way, like, you know, you can use the idle cycles on your computer to, like, you know, do SETI at home or, like, protein folding and stuff like that. You know, you're contributing computing power to, like, a global good. I feel like my brain could do that. You know, while being idle, it could just be crunching some stuff. Instead, it's exclusively preoccupied with, here's how you could have won an argument that you had 10 years ago. Just what I wanted, another luck down. And I'm excited, okay. If you don't think about it too hard, an I'm excited pill is kind of like a speed up, so there is that. I'm happy we got the tiers upgrades, though. That's pretty huge. I mean, we started with Mega, like it's, and we got an HP upgrade from Odd Mushroom, so like there's a lot to like here, don't get me wrong. A lot to love. But yeah, my brain is exclusively preoccupied with mashing up two songs to create the most annoying song possible, apparently, that is at the very best only mildly amusing, and also, again, like, you know, hey, here's what would have been a great comeback to this argument you had in 8th grade. Or sometimes I'll just be like walking, you know, and I'll, you know, there'll be like a manhole cover, and my brain will be like, hey, you know what would be like really cool right now is if you had a vivid visualization of what it would look like if you fell down that thing. They're like, thanks brain, really appreciate that. Of all the things okay, that's hard to dodge. Of all the things we could have been using, you know, the gift of sentience for today. You wanted to be imagining me falling down a manhole cover, or like, hey, what if that? What if you're at the movies? What if the movie theater screen just fell on you right now? What would that be like? Anybody else wired like that? The answer's got to be yes, because I'm not the first of my kind, I think, out here. Anyway, what was I talking about? I forget. This song has just been, it's just even right now in my head. I mean, I've been watching so much Sesame Street, man. I gotta tell you, it's a great show. I saw a little bit of like one episode of Paw Patrol. Please do not at me. Okay. Wow, what a good trinket. 15% chance for all flies in a room that has flies to be friendly. Wow, that's gonna change the game. Hold on, did it work? No, there's no way we're grabbing that. We might as well check our cursor, and we got the HP. We need a speed upgrade, man, this is sad. But, like, I gotta tell you, Sesame Street is like a show it's better for children, don't get me wrong, but you can watch it as an adult. Like, I saw a rerun, there was like Jurassic Cookie Monster was doing a Jurassic Park parody where he was like, me take 1 billion-year-old cookie and turn it into giant cookie at open theme park. And then the cookie starts chasing Cookie Monster and his grandchildren through the park. Like, it's literally the exact plot of Jurassic Park, but that's why it's like, you know, is high art, is because it references something that I'm familiar with. But it was very good, but also I saw an episode yesterday that blew me away. I tweeted about it. I was glad to see that many people were in the same boat. Cookie Monster and his friend Gonger, who is a pink fluffy chef, they now run a food truck. It goes, do you like food? A doobie doop 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 doop. Like me like food? A doobie doop 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 doop. Place your order. If you lucky, we'll make food in our foodie trucky. Yeah. So it always starts with like some kid video calling them and being like, hi Cookie Monster and Gonger, I want to have lunch with my friend Sophie, but she only eats foods shaped like triangles. Can you help us? And then so the basic gist of it, okay? They decide what they're gonna make. Maybe this time they're like, we can make nachos, you know? And then they're like, here's the ingredients that we need, but oh no, Cookie Monster ate all the shredded cheese, so now we gotta go to the cheese factory, get a little like bite-sized episode of how it's made, and then they send it. So on this one, this girl called in. I'm sure it was scripted. It's not improv. But she called in and she was like, it's my friend's birthday today. I want you to make them a cake. And they were stoked, man. They were hype. They were like, oh, me love cake, you know? But then they didn't have any eggs. So they had to go to the egg farm to get some more eggs because Cookie Monster ate them all, right? It happens all the time. Baked the cake, you know? They drove in their truck, just to be clear, to get to the egg farm. When they got to the egg farm, they had to get a lecture. They couldn't just buy the eggs. It had to be like, first it pops out of a chicken's cloaca, and then, you know, you get the idea. They finally got the eggs. They baked the cake. Then they go, hey, little girl, your cake's ready. Where should we send it? She's got the nerve to say, it's for you. Happy birthday, Cookie Monster. And I was immediately like, this is actually psychotic. Now, there was some... I'm not opening that. Don't make me laugh. There was some difference of opinion on Twitter. Most people seem to agree with me, and I know, like, you might think I have a bias towards thinking that. I actually have a bias towards thinking the opposite because, you know, it validates my victim complex. But it's kind of a bad move, like, just rude. Hello? Okay, you piece. How dare you. If somebody's at work on their birthday, to give them a chore that makes them cook a cake and then be like, oh, it's your own gift. Like, they had them making their own gifts. I guess, you know, on the one hand, they were getting paid for it, but on the other hand, like, you could have also just given me a gift by letting me rest during that period when I was working on the thing that you wanted to give me, and then also giving me a thing like when I got home or something like that. Moreover, the man's name is Cookie Monster, and of all the foods, you got him a cake. Like, I don't know, wouldn't you be cheesed off? I mean, if you worked at Best Buy and, like, your friend... only one can be taken? Sure, why not? I mean, it's 7 cents for an item draft. That's pretty good. It seems terrible. These are good. 0.7, 0.5, but this also lowers or raises your tier cap, but I think this is probably better. I love the drafting mechanics in this game, man. Hopefully, like, I don't know if they're ever going to make an Isaac 2, but if they ever make an Isaac 2, more drafting mechanics would be sick. Or maybe, like, in Mugenics, there's an element of that. I don't know. Apparently, it's still, like, 2 years away, which is honestly not that long in the whole scheme of things. 2 years ago, it was 2019. How messed up is that? Seems simultaneously like 2 weeks and 10 years ago. Anyway. I feel like if I worked at Best Buy and it was my birthday, I was working on my birthday, and then... you know, my friend called up. This isn't even a friend, though. This is like a stranger. But if a stranger called up and was like, hey, can you go get a PS5 from the... Actually, no, that would be sick because you would be getting a free PS5. I don't know. I'm realizing I don't have much of a leg to stand on. It just seems rude, though. You could just buy a cake. Why you got them making their own cake? If they like making cake, don't get me wrong. But, you know, a lot of people wouldn't consider doing their jobs to be like a hobby. Your Cookie Monster, he kind of is like me, you know, we work in the entertainment industry, so maybe it's a little bit different. We're basically peers and friends. We would get along, I think. I think Cookie Monster and I would get along. As long as we didn't steal each other's food. I don't know, it just seems rude to me. It's presumptuous, first off. What if Cookie Monster is trying to watch what he eats, you know? Now you've made him a cake. It's always like the worst part about, well, no, I mean, not the worst part, but one of the annoying things about like being on a, not even a diet, but just like trying to eat healthier is like if you go to someone's birthday, you are automatically assumed sus if you don't eat a slice of birthday cake. I don't know if this is just the circles I've run in. You know, my family, like my direct relations, my parents, I guess is just the way you'd normally say that. They're good about it. They don't really care. But certainly, like, you know, I have grandparents who was like, they would take personal offense if it was their birthday and you didn't get a slice of cake. Honestly, like, that's their own problem, and that's their cross to bear, but it's easier to say that when you're, you know, 33 than when you're like 7, right? or 16 even. But regardless, when it's your own birthday, you've especially got a problem. You go into the office, you know, it happened in Korea, it's your birthday, they've gotten you a cake, you're not supposed to know about it because it's a surprise, even though you got a November birthday and you watched, you know, 10 months of birthdays before you. And then you gotta basically take a slice and eat it. You just gotta pay like the cake tax just to make the person feel good about the fact that they got you something. I'm not saying the person is stupid. I'm saying the routine is stupid. Look, honestly, I know how that sounds. This sounds like I'm like anti-birthday cake. I am, but I'm not anti-birthday food. What I'm saying is we got to get rid of this birthday cake tradition and replace it, because the cake industry has had it too easy for too long. Every special occasion. Nah, man. We got I understand why, you know. Somewhat easy to make in large portions. You know, you can slice it to your content. It's an agreeable food. I think we should have like on your LinkedIn profile or something, there should be what food do you want for your birthday. That way you don't have to ask, you can just have it there. Because like what, a cake is like $20. This is honestly true. And I think people who don't get it are going to be like, you're making this up to sound more boring than you are. People who do get it are going to be like, finally I'm being seen. If you were going to give me a $20 cake for my birthday, I would much rather you got me like a case of 24 LaCroix or something like that. And we could all have a LaCroix in the break room or something like that. If you want a cake for your birthday, that doesn't bother me, but I don't see why everybody should have to have a cake for their birthday. It should be the assumed neutral food that everybody's into, instead of like, you know, some people, honestly, I don't really care about a cake that much. You know, I've had some good ones in my life, don't get me wrong. I've had some where I would say, take me back for a second slice, but if I had the option, you give me the choice between a cake and a pecan pie, I would say, you know what? If the LaCroix is not an option, then sure, I'll take the pecan pie. And then you know what? If you were like, hey, do you want a pecan pie? Or what about like some kind of meat pie? I'd be like, give me that tourtière, tout sweet. I'm just not that into... When you don't have a sweet tooth, those shared, like, foods sometimes can be quite divisive. Like, if the choice was between... Here's one that I think is kind of... It's a fairly easy one to understand. If the choice was between a cake or a roughly equivalently priced, like, large or extra large pizza, what would you take? I know you can have both. I'm not here to tell you can't have both. I'm just trying to... At some point, when you keep throwing up barriers, like, why wouldn't I just have both? You start to wonder why this person is being so evasive with the questions. Which one would you rather have? Because it sounds like you don't want to say that you would rather have the pizza, because then that would make it seem like I'm right. But you also don't want to say that you'd rather have the cake because you have taste buds, which means you'd prefer to have pizza instead of cake because you're not 5 years old. So, like, I commend you on that. You know what? A free item. Lucky me. Bombs are key. Lucky me. Bombs are key. I'm just saying. Many holiday traditions, I think it's time to start the disruption. And I'm being 100% sincere. I think it's, and maybe this is too much. I'm not trying to be like a real, like a hardliner about it. But some people, like, can't eat cake for dietary reasons. Some people can't eat cake for medical reasons, Some people shouldn't eat cake for medical reasons, but may feel tempted or compelled to if one is present. And then, moreover, some people, and I count myself in this, I'm not on like a hardline diet or anything like that. Like, I will eat food that's bad for me, but I at least want it to taste good. And I'm like, you really want me to give up like 320 calories of my resting metabolic rate for like a Walgreens birthday cake? Like, if you want to make that choice, I'm not going to tell you no. But for me, that's just a crap deal. I'd rather, there's many, I'd rather eat some cheeses or something. Like, it's just not a great deal. I think we got to rework it, man. We got to start even if it ruins the surprise a little bit, we got to start asking people what they want. Spin down, nice. Yo, doesn't Mega become like Brimstone with Spin Down in like 2 attempts or something like that? We gotta start asking people what they want. I don't understand the fetish with like a surprise party anyway. Wow, it's so much fun that for half of your birthday or more, you think nobody knows it's your birthday, and everybody forgot about you. Ha ha. Isn't that fun? That's super. That sounds like a great time. Oh, but then at the end, all that misery is a surprise. We got you a cake from the grocery store. Spare me. Okay? Hold on, I'm kind of going off. Take me back. Spin Down's just like, it's such a rare item. We gotta try it. I'm not looking up the tables, man. Just send me. Kidney Stone. Oh, Kidney Stone becomes... Well, now I'm looking up the tables. Trinket Box, and then Binky. It's pretty good. Binky's pretty good. You become Peeler. Not that interested, but, once maybe. If we can get 2, though, we'd much rather turn... I mean, honestly, Kidney Stone is kind of just good now. I think I'm just going to take it. Rather than store up for Binky. The other thing, and I know we talk about this all the time, we have to be the generation that stops exchanging meaningless greeting cards. I know the disruption has come to this industry in such a strange way. You can send someone an e-card, but usually an e-card also, because I think Hallmark has like a captive audience, an e-card kind of costs money. But it's like sending someone a text that says happy birthday. Like, let's assume it's your great aunt, You're getting kind of down the family line here. You're not expected to give her a gift, but you might be expected to say happy birthday. Sending her a card is like, oh, thank you so much. I really loved that card that I got from you in the mail. Sending her a text is like, wow, geez, that's all I'm worth to you is a text? You didn't even chop down a tree, get like an AI-generated statement about how like great aunts are like wallpaper. You never know how much you miss one until you're in a new build, It's... I honestly, I would rather have a text than a greeting card without a doubt, and I don't think that's rare. I think most people my age would probably agree with that. Because at least, like, a greeting card means nothing to Grandma, if you're watching this, I apologize. But I'm trying to free you from the greeting card grind. You don't need to be buying so many cards and stamps and giving the Hallmark CEO another holiday in Aruba or whatever. I always appreciate the card. But a text that you had to write yourself that just said, like, hey, grandson, thinking of you today on your birthday, hope all this crazy stuff subsides so, we can see you soon. But either way, keep up the good work, That means more to me than opening up a letter that has like a you know, somebody had to like put it in a bag in their truck and then drive it to my house, drop it in my mailbox. Like, there's so much labor involved just to get me to read some kind of rhyming poem, you know, written by Ryan Seacrest or something like that. You know, how could you write a... Pardon me, it just doesn't make sense. Excuse me? Well, this is the most incredible spin down that's ever existed. I'll take Black Lotus just because I don't think we can actually get to Cricket's body, which would be very fun. But am I really the world's best grandson, Grandma? Because Hallmark, according to their year-end financial disclosures, sold 135,000 of those cards last year. It's their biggest seller. So somebody should really let those other 134,999 grandsons know that they're being lied to, and I'm the best one. But it just seems like such a waste. But, you know, nobody's buying greeting cards. Like, it's gotta be the good that people are least happy to buy, right? I mean, maybe insurance. Like, I'm always mad when I'm buying car insurance. I'm like, why the heck is this so expensive? And I'm sure, like, if I got into a car accident, I would be like, oh, now I get it. But, like, a greeting card is always like, oh, we just, like, well, we can't just, you know, send them a gift. We have to include a card as well to force them to awkwardly read out, like, 7 lines of high school poetry in front of their whole family. You could tell, you know, I feel very strongly about this. I'm not anti-card, and like when I get one, I'm like, okay, I'll read it, and I'm like, that's sweet. My mom sends me greeting cards, you know, sometimes, you know, included with like a Christmas card or something like that, and I always read it, and I'm like, this is very nice. And the other thing my mom does, though, and she's freaking cracked at it, is she always includes like a handwritten note to every member of the family that'll tug at your heartstrings. Like, she goes off, man. I don't even want to repeat the stuff that's in it, because it'll, like, touch you in your soul. That's a private message meant for, like, me and me alone. Like the message Bill Murray had for Scarlett Johansson at the end of Lost in Translation. It's more valuable if it's not shared. But greeting cards themselves exist only because of the fear, no, that if you don't get someone the greeting card, they're going to be offended, or, I don't know, worse, they're going to think that, you know, you don't care about them. Nah, Grandma, you can just send me, just put a stamp on the top right of the check and send it via Canada Post. You don't, leave Hallmark out of it. Buy yourself something nice. It's like the whole industry just exists because it has existed. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not making my point clearly. But, like, it actually is a good that serves no utility. The only thing I could think of is, like, sometimes it's nice to display, I guess, like, if you were recovering in the hospital, you could look at all these get well soon cards and perhaps generate, like, a morale boost from them that could grant you some kind of convalescent power. Now, I'm reaching a little bit, but still, maybe? But, like, how many trees have been cut down for me to get, like, a card from my uncle that I haven't spoken to since I was 9? That's just like, hey, rapidly approaching middle-aged nephew, hope you're doing well out there on the West Coast. Really, well, let's look at spin down. Diplopia kind of cracked, but I don't know. You know what? We might as well just see if we get a battery there. See if this is bombs or key. I mean, not bombs or key. 48-hour energy. It was still great. I'm not mad. You know, we haven't taken down like a whole forest, but probably like a tree and a half is just dedicated to that. That's messed up, man. What am I doing? I should not be here. I didn't realize we were this late in the game already. Like, it serves no good. It serves no benefit. Especially in the era of, you know, the digital transmission of information. You could easily, like, you know, pay your taxes online, but you can't wish somebody happy birthday? It just seems too informal. I don't understand. I mean, we're just taking it. Dude, oh no, we're supposed to go to the lamb! It's not that big a deal, but I'll get over it. Anyway, I'm just like... And then don't even get me started on, like, the amount of space they take up in the grocery store. In the grocery store, I don't know if these are vestiges of old, like, business-to-business contracts or something like that, but, you know, there are grocery stores that I go to where, like, not 10%, but, like, 8% of the surface area of the grocery store is dedicated to magazines and gift cards. Or not gift cards, greeting cards. But they're, like, I can't find, like, you know... Worcester sauce sometimes. Or I'll be like, oh, hey, do you guys have miso? And they're like, no, we don't carry miso. We only carry mirin. Is that good enough? And I'm like, no, they're too, like, one of them is like a vinegar. The other one is like a paste. That's like, oh, we don't have any ground beef, but we've got garbage bags. Is that going to be good enough? Like, you couldn't have gotten rid of the section of the grocery store dedicated to John Grisham novels to just stock more food? I know it's kind of like a bit of a crazy decision. Maybe, I mean, I don't have access to the purchasing data of the grocery store. Maybe they're a high-margin item, and they get a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm looking for a good read. Let me head to Save on Foods real quick. They always got the best novels. That's where So I give all my Danielle Steeles, all my John Grishams. Who wrote the Da Vinci Code? This could be on Jeopardy. Who wrote the Da Vinci Code? Come on. The Da Vinci Code. Dan Brown. Dan Brown. I knew it was locked up there somewhere. This really becomes Transcendence? Like, I feel like we kind of have an obligation to get it. Spin down kind of cracked, huh? Anyway, look, I'm not... I will say I've got to acknowledge my own biases. You know, I'm like the kind of psycho that when I like want to buy a book, I mean, usually I'll buy it online, but I have I have purchased books from the bookstore this year, like physically. Peter Lynch's One Up on Wall Street, for example. It's true. You might not like it, but it's true. But, I don't know, maybe I gotta mix it up. Maybe I don't complain when the grocery store has batteries, and batteries, last time I checked, are not a food unless you want to die. So, I guess you gotta take the good with the bad. Go to the grocery store, anytime I see an end cap full of batteries, I'm a happy individual, I must admit. You ever get complimented, about something that is not yours to be complimented on? Let me explain. I had to go pick up a package today. While I was picking up the package, it was for my wife. I was very happy the post office employee was like, oh yeah, you guys have the same last name and the same address. I'm not going to hassle you over that. I'm pretty sure that she sent you to pick this up. You'd be surprised how often people are like, wait a minute, this could be one of those old package thefts where you stole the slip to get the package and then also happen to have the same last name and the same address as the victim of the crime. Happens all the time. Yo, that's a great spin down, man. What the heck? What a world. But after I got the package, I was wearing my winter coat because it's cold out. I don't need to justify myself to you. Let's just see what this does, man. I'm kind of glad it wasn't Perthrow, but you never know. Who knows? It could have rerolled into Godhead. The guy said, hey, and if you don't mind me asking, what's with the patch on your jacket? And then I looked at the patch on my jacket, and it was like 3 mountains and like some kind of symbol. And I was like so taken aback. I was like, oh yeah, I don't... No, it's just like, I think it's the brand of the jacket made the patch. Like, this isn't something that I, like, sewed on there. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. He was just like, oh, okay, well, it looks cool. Like, it was a compliment, like I said. But I was look. I want to be clear. I was not like upset or anything. It's just like this is what passes for an anecdote in my life at this point. So I had to bring it up. Okay, if you got a problem with that, if you got an issue, here's a tissue. And that's literally it. Like, that's genuinely it. I did finish all the Matrixes, and I gotta tell you, man, I think they screwed up when they made Into the Spider-Verse. They should have made Into the Matrix-verse. There's so... I know they made the Animatrix. I mean, like, a real movie. Like an animated... Well, I guess it is animated, but... I'm just trying to make enemies right now. Hold on. Eh. I mean, it's like... You know, it's like not bad. It's not bad, but like, it's not that good. Like, a theme is not worth it. Seraphim is like okay, but I would much rather just get Mr. Dolly. Although now that I think about it, Mr. Dolly, we're gonna be like capped on tears because we didn't take Mom's perfume earlier. But imagine like a Matrix movie crossed with Batman where Agent Smith assimilates the Joker. Oh my god, man. They would, and played by Jared Leto. Mr. Anderson, do you want to know how I got these scars? I'm just saying hypothetically. If they gave out Oscars for best movie idea, we would be thanking the Academy right now. The Academy of my brain coming up with that idea all on its own. Although, wasn't there... I didn't see Space Jam 2 because I'm an adult. It was not... Look, I recognize the time for me to go in on Space Jam, and I took advantage of this opportunity, was before Space Jam 2 came out, because anytime people that were my age were like, hey, did you see the news about Space Jam 2? I got to act superior and be like, no, because I saw Space Jam 1 in 1998 when I was about 9 years old, and even then I knew it was bad. So I have not been following the Cash Grab remake that's coming out 21 years after the fact or whatever. But then when it came out and it was bad, I've got to mince words, you know? Because, I mean, nobody likes an I told us so. That being said, I think we all know I did tell you so. But I've been wrong about things in movies. It's happened before. Although, to be honest, one of those takes that went wrong was when I said that I think Shang-Chi is when Marvel's going to lose its luster, and then it came out and it got, you know, rave reviews from the critics and the fans, and I was like, I guess I was wrong. And then when I saw it, I was like, no, I think I was right. It seems fine, but maybe I've changed. Let's put it that way. What are we spinning down here? Mom's purse. Just give me the bombs, man. You didn't like Shang-Chi? No, I liked it, but like, so what, you know? Like, I don't know, do something cool. No, I don't mean something cool like, you know, a flip or whatever. I've seen you do that before. I just mean like, do something cool, like, I don't know, make one of the Marvel movies just like a conversation between two middle-aged men at different points in their life as they talk about, you know, love, life, and happiness, you know? Like some My Dinner with Andre sort of stuff. Like, when is Marvel gonna make their My Dinner with Andre, you know? When are they gonna make their March of the Penguins? I've been waiting for it, but they just keep making dang old Civil War over and over. I'm waiting for their Koyaanisqatsi. When are you gonna make Koyana? When are you gonna make Frequency? Is it Frequency or Wavelength, the one that's a 45-minute short film that literally is just a zoom in and then a zoom out on the same room? Frequency is a movie where Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel are time-traveling versions of the same man. I forgot about that part. Or their house time travels, something like that. Anyway, take me down. You know what? It's more fun to be down here with Spin Down anyway. I think we made the right decision. Not bad. Not bad, actually, to reroll. Both of these are reroll targets right now. It kind of sucks, but we can get a few charges maybe and see how the mood strikes us. Ooh, it becomes Eden Soul. Something we probably... Or is that Star? No, that's got to be Eden Soul. Either way, this is... The first step is spinning down everything. Wait, we don't need this to be charged. We need this to be charged. Does it require... It requires Spirit Hearts to charge it, right? Am I okay? This is good. This is good. You're going to become a D-Infinity. You got a long way to go before you're useful at all, but that's okay. I don't know how we're going to do this. Anyway, I told you I was out of anecdotes. That's all I got, man. You don't even want to hear the material I've been running at home, which is like, have you seen these people in the bike lanes? Like, does anybody else live in... the lower mainland and realize that, like, as soon as it snows, 75% of the civilians forget that the bike lanes, which are sidewalks with bikes painted on them, not sidewalks even, like it's asphalt, but they just forget that it's not for them. I'm not even biking. I'm just saying I look outside on occasion, or like, you know, be in a more populated area, and I'll see... Help. I'll see, like, cyclists have to dodge people that are just, like, looking up at the streetlights because they're walking through the bike lanes, and I'm like, it's just, I don't know, it's just ignorant. It's just like if you saw a car on the sidewalk, you'd be like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. You're not a person. You're a car. So I don't even think we want the D-Infinity, honestly. I think we're going to keep it moving. Why not? I guess we could re-roll our whole run with the D4 and then take the spin down. I don't know. It's not necessary. I like what we got here. I mean, we went zany enough, I think. I just feel like, I'm sure that there's probably like one person watching this that's like, I'm a Vancouver cyclist and it's been so annoying. I feel for you. Look, I'm anti-cyclist, anti-pedestrian, anti-driver. I'm anti-everything. I'm sure it happens in every city, but, you know, I do all three in Vancouver, and while doing all three, I hate people in all three groups for different reasons, you know? Pedestrians be walking in the bike lane, you know, jaywalking when it's not safe and thus causing traffic to back up. Cyclists be not stopping at stop signs. You know, they want to be treated like cars. And I'm not saying all of them, like, this is literally like 5%, but they want to be treated like cars when it comes to, like, you know, having the road, but then when it comes to having to follow the traffic lights, they're like, I'm not a car, this doesn't apply to me. And then drivers is the worst because it's the most dangerous, obviously. You know, people on their cell phones or just not paying attention at all, literally just being bad at the mechanics of driving. So I'm not trying to say that, oh, won't the pedestrians think of the drivers? I just think it's messed up, man. Like, pedestrians have the most hoity-toity attitude. And I say this as somebody who, that's, you know, my predominant method of travel, at least by frequency, obviously. But whenever, like, somebody in a car does something they're not supposed to do, they're usually like, oh, sorry, my bad. Or they give you the middle finger or whatever. But they know they did something wrong. You know, there's some humility there sometimes. When a cyclist does something wrong, you know, sometimes they're like, my bad. Sometimes they're like, you know, they give you the finger. But I think that there's at least some acknowledgement there. You can't ever criticize a pedestrian's behavior, even in, like, high traffic areas, without getting into an argument about city planning that no one's capable or qualified to get into. Like, I'll be driving downtown, somebody will, like, sprint out when I have a green light into traffic to jaywalk and get into the Tim Hortons 10 seconds faster. If you ever bring it up, someone is always like, sorry that, all the cars that live in this city must be so inconvenienced by me trying to get my lunch. And I'm like, I'm just trying to not, like, kill you. And you're making it very difficult. Everybody's got to follow the rules, okay? Anyway. I feel for the cyclists, man. I don't know, like, whenever I see people walking in the bike lane, it genuinely is one of those things that kind of, like, it inspires a little bit of misanthropy in me. Because there's only a few possible explanations. One is they know it's a bike lane, but they don't care, which is like, okay, you know, Kid Rock. This is like your idea of not following the rules and not complying. More power to you. That's a little misanthropic. Ain't nobody got time for that. Another one is that they're just not paying attention. That's fine, but also, you know, annoying. And then the third one is that they think it's just a cool sidewalk, even though, like, for people, they're like, oh, there's one sidewalk that you take. That's the slow lane sidewalk for like normal pedestrians. I got places to be, so I walk on the sidewalk that has a bike painted on it every half block. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode and the consistency. I'll see you tomorrow with another one in all likelihood. See ya.